Bitch, I think I'm baby Jesus, baby Jesus. Yeah, but you can call me what you call me. What they call me? Yeah, bitch, I think I'm baby Jesus, baby Jesus. Yeah, I'm breaking bread, bitch, I'm ballin', yeah. Bitch, I think I'm baby Jesus, baby
back
Jesus.
again, 8 Block Entertainment, Green Team Entertainment here again with the Carolina 5 Volume 1. We still in Charlotte, let it be known, but we here with a new guy, okay? Well known in Charlotte, radio personality, marketing manager, artist management. Anything else I'm missing? Promotions,
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all, basically, this is your go-to man, Charlotte. You need to holler at him. Radio Raheem, introduce yourself to the world, baby.
Like I said, man, Radio Raheem, like I said, a very well-known elite promoter around Charlotte. Former radio host of High Five Radio right here in Charlotte, Power 104.4 FM. And also president of marketing for Baby Jesus, the brand, also out of Charlotte, man. Like I said, just to sum it up, I'm from Philadelphia by way of Durham. I've been in Charlotte about 2 years now. I did about 2 years at college. I was a mass comm major at North Carolina Central. In the time being that I've been in Charlotte, I've got involved and kind of broke into the industry through various opportunities from club promoting. I've managed a tattoo shop. There was a tattoo franchise down here, a very popular tattoo franchise called the Inkwell that was down here at one point that I managed. Did a little bit of club promoting, got involved, some CIAA events, rubbed some elbows, networked with people, and I pretty much kind of allowed the situation to kind of lead to the next. Kept it pretty
One
consistent.
question I have, and I'm sure the viewers are going to wonder that too, was your migration. Okay, was that prompted just for school or personal reasons, or what made you move down to the South from Philly?
Man, honestly, Philadelphia is a great city. A lot of notable things started there way back in history. That's a whole different conversation.
Yeah,
but
Philly's all right.
My father just early on, saw a lot of potential in me, and he saw that, the aggression of the city wasn't an area or an environment that I needed to really kind of grow in and maintain. And so right when I had left that mark from leaving elementary school, from leaving elementary in the middle, my father had kind of, came across an opportunity and was actually getting married. And we moved down to North Carolina like back in 03.
Okay.
So basically, we moved down here. My dad wanted to put me in a better position, and it ended up, being a good opportunity. I mean, it wasn't, easy, came with its trials and tribulations, but it's a lot that led back then to where I am now that I didn't understand and that I know now.
Now, just in case they might not know, or people might want to follow a path to success, when you chose school, your major, what would be studying there?
Mass comm, man. I would recommend the mass comm major for anybody that's trying to
And that's mass communications, just in case you slightly illiterate.
Yeah. For dummies. But nonetheless, man, like I said, for anyone that's interested in getting involved in radio, television, certain parts of the music industry, maybe even in the film industry, there's a certain base of communications that major carried. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't in school long enough to exactly get into my major, because the first 2 years you're kind of pretty much taking like all the basic essential classes and credentials, and you don't really touch your major till like junior, senior year or whatever, depending on what you're doing. But it's definitely it was a major that my father had took when he was in college. My father went to Russ College down in Mississippi. That's where he pledged and everything. But basically, when I always asked my pop, what did he take in college and what was his interest, he was a mass comm major. So I guess you could say I kind of followed in his footsteps, kind of, sort of. But while in school, I ended up kind of realizing that what I wanted to do, I didn't really need to go to school for it. Like, I needed to go to school to learn the basics, but like a lot of the common knowledge and a lot of the know-how really just had to be picked up through really hands-on.
Okay. Now, as far as the transition we'll go from university to actual 9-to-5 job, okay? You mentioned earlier with your introduction that you got some work in marketing as far as radio.
Mm-hmm.
What is the day-to-day responsibilities of a marketing manager? Just to let people know.
Staying on your toes. Staying on your toes, you know what I'm saying? Don't wait for direction. be the direction. I gotta kind of take a page out of my partner Baby Jesus notebook. It's kind of like a saying that we live by. We always want to be proactive rather than reactive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Stay 10 steps ahead of the situation. Mm-hmm. So pretty much on a day-to-day basis, I say anything from promo runs, whether that be sitting down, figuring out all the major urban stores in your city or whatever city you're at. That'll be DTLR, a Jimmy Jazz, whatever urban store that people might shop in. That'll kind of fall into the same line of your music, whatever it is you're trying to market. Radio runs.
So basically, networking on a heavyweight level.
Pretty much. I guerrilla marketing. Guerrilla marketing is a tool that I've used for majority of most things that I've been a part of.
Explain to them what guerrilla marketing. They don't even know. A lot of people don't even know what that term means. Now, see, I'm one of them guys. I got that old school rap background. Wanted to be a rapper. I picked up that book.
Okay.
Guerrilla Marketing 101.
Okay.
It's a real book at Barnes & Noble.
Yeah.
But explain to them what guerrilla marketing really means.
Guerrilla marketing is exactly how it sounds. It's nonstop. You know what I'm saying? You're not letting off, whether it be Instagram flooding, DM blast, email blast. It'll be down to a science to where, for instance, I'll take a page out of somebody's notebook. Say if you got an event or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and it's a club event or it's a big event, and you wanna give yourself another way that people can be aware of your event other than radio promo or IG. So you put together a mixtape, and you pretty much promote all your events on that mixtape, just because the simple fact that people are gonna listen to that tape because you have the hottest and exclusive music on it, but at the same time, they're hearing your events.
That's genius.
It's kind of like a by any means type situation. Like at the end of the day, I know you've probably seen my flyer 10 times on Instagram, but I'm gonna give you a flyer anyway, just because the simple fact, like whether you keep this or not, a photographic memory, like when you know what I'm saying, whenever your day slows down and you want to find out what's the move, you're gonna remember, dang, I kept hearing about this, I kept hearing about that.
What you're saying right now is going to bring me to another topic. I'll bring that up later for you guys. This little thing called branding. Okay, I know you know something about this, but we'll get to that later. But as far as we're gonna stick with radio right now. Okay, since that's your nickname, that's your background. Now, say you do bump into a new artist or some upcoming talent or somebody, a vocalist, whatever, instrument player, whatever they do, DJ, producer. A lot of times I hear this question. And it was on my mind when I tried to do my little thing, tried my little run as an artist. How we break radio? How do you break your artist into radio?
It's nowadays that's such a touchy situation just because of the internet is so big nowadays. You know what I'm saying? If you're familiar with the internet, because I know a lot of times I have a lot of records before the radio does. I learned that while I was in radio. Like while I was in radio, there was a lot of records that I was able to kind of insert because I was in internet radio, because of my position and because of how much I literally I scrape the internet all day, every day for what's new, any kind of new content. But I would honestly say at the end of the day, everybody feels like, okay, I gotta go to the club and break my record, or I gotta get my record to the DJ to break it.
That was the format. 15 years ago?
Which is true, but nowadays, because you have such a huge influence on social media, nowadays artists don't establish fans anymore; they establish followings. I remember having the same conversation with my partner Tony here. So nowadays, like I said, artists have more of a following more than fans. And like I said, at the end of the day, you can take a record to radio all you want, you can take a record to the club all you want, but it doesn't mean anything unless you have a brand or marketing strategy behind it, because it takes more than just, all right, hey man, this the hottest, bro. Sit here and listen to it. You know what I'm saying? This is it right here. I know whenever I hear a record, I like to hear the story behind the record, and because I have to hear the story behind the record,
hear the story behind the artist.
Exactly. That comes with the artist. Like that branding is so important, because at the end of the day, if you're not receptive at first to open to the music, it might be something about that artist's image or something about what that artist is trying to do or the point that he's coming from that could attract you.
Right. As far as album sales, Okay, I'm seeing a lot more. It's a whole new wave. They gearing towards singles now. It's a more single push.
Streaming.
I'm seeing this.
Nobody's buying
money.
albums anymore.
What's your opinion on that? What's your take on that? As far as album sales versus single or streaming sales.
I'm gonna be honest.
What would you push your artists into?
I mean, right? I hate to say it, but you kind of gotta follow the trend. Streaming is where it's at.
Right.
I mean, in my opinion, the new way of streaming and the new certifications by the RIAA as far as what it takes to go platinum. You got artists that are going platinum based off a certain amount of streams compared to when it used to be 1 million records physically. You know what I'm saying?
That's the only format that I'm a dinosaur. This is crazy.
Exactly. And you know what? Actually,
Wow.
as of yesterday, both Big Sean and Kendrick had albums that went platinum. But there was a TDE representative who spoke out like, at the end of the day, thanks for the accreditation, but we ain't with the cheat codes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We want to earn our respect and stripes for what we're doing off actually selling 1 million copies. So I say that to say this. And I'm a fan of Apple Music. You know what I'm saying? I subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I love the fact that I don't necessarily have to buy that single. I can stream it at any time and listen to it at any time as long as I got internet connection around.
Right.
But I feel like it kind of takes from the culture a bit because it's just kind of like now you got artists
it's
dropping stuff, whenever they want to.
It's
you know
like
what I'm
music is disposable now.
Yeah, it's sacrificing the value for the what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost like sacrificing the value. I don't want to say for the money, but it's on the tip of my tongue.
Maybe to just keep dropping, keep flooding the market.
It's almost like oversaturated.
Now.
It's almost like oversaturated.
Because he's flooding the market.
Yeah.
And they're loving it.
Yeah.
It's just like constant.
And I mean, don't get me wrong.
It's a whole
it
new
helps.
format.
It helps. You know what I'm saying? It helps with show bookings. It's definitely going to keep you booked. It's going to keep you relevant, especially across the internet. But it's just kind of like, who makes timeless music anymore?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
See, I come from that realm, and it's like that's why I love my position. You know what I'm saying? Because it gets me in the mindset of the younger generation. What are y'all feeding off of now? What's more popular? And artists across the board need to know this, young or old. You got to know where to direct your marketing campaign and what audience you're gunning for. Just like this is a nice segue into this one. Okay, let's say you bump into a new artist next month. He's popping. You want to cuff him. All right. What would be your 5 main marketing strategies to get him popping?
First, I would pinpoint, his brand. You know what I'm saying? We need to find out if he has a brand behind, any logos, anything that, him as an artist wants to, stand for as far as in front of the people. Of course, radio. As far as clubs and stuff like that, one thing that I have learned over the last year or two is the strip club isn't necessarily the place to break records. Just because it's such an aggressive.
It's a niche market.
And it's such an aggressive area where people really can't, really take in the time to really understand what they're listening to because everything is about
because you're not going to hear Good Kid, Mad City at
a strip
Club Onyx.
No.
I mean, I couldn't see that happen.
No.
I mean, but I don't know. It depends on the DJ.
Definitely social media. You know what I'm saying? We are in the generation of social media and street promo, that footwork. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I don't care how many followers, I don't care how many followers you got. It don't mean
so hitting the block to you is still important as a
I'm doing that now as we speak. I'm an exec and I'm still hopping out the Sprinter.
That's what I want.
Stapling poles, handing out posters.
Because I don't see that no more.
Yeah.
I used to be the king of that.
That groundwork is essential.
T-shirts, stickers, bumper stickers.
Because at the end of the day,
you don't see that no more.
You gotta reach the people who don't use Instagram, who don't use Facebook, who don't use Snapchat. You know what I'm saying? So those will be the 5.
Baby G. I'm on that. Can I talk my shit? Yeah. I'ma talk my shit. Fuck. Hey, shut up. I'm on they ass. Look at me now. I'm on they ass. These niggas biting my swag. Look at me now. Biting my swag. Watch how I do my little dance. Look at me now. I had to run up them bands. Look at me now. Look at me now. Ooh, look at me now. Look at me now. I had to turn on my swag. Look at me now. I had to turn on my swag. I had to go get them bands. Look at me now. Go get them bands. I got these poor niggas mad. Look at me now. Fuck it, the little nigga talking about. Let's be for real. Let's be for real. All of that shit that you rap about, that's what I live. That's what I do. Somebody call the police, they keep stealing my swag. Call the police. Way too much bread in my jeans, I'ma need me a bag. Racks. I wasn't even gon' speak, but it's getting me mad. Getting me mad. I'm actually starting to think that these niggas some fags. Must be a fag. You do a whole lot of looking, but you looking bad. I see how you look. These niggas don't even got cars and they talking about gas. Go! I'm on they ass, look at me now. I'm on they ass. These niggas biting my swag, look at me now. Niggas biting my swag. Watch how I do my little dance, look at me now. I had to run up them bands, look at me now. Look at me now. Ooh, look at me now. Look at me now. I had to turn on my swag, look at me now. I had to turn on my swag. I had to go get them bands, look at me now. Go get them bands. I got these poor niggas mad, look at me now. See how you look. I can't show niggas no mercy, my foot up they ass. Foot up they ass. Goofy ass nigga, you thirsty, you stealing my swag. My nigga, you goof. When you see me bounce through the club, get the fuck out the way. Fuck out the way. Somebody get this little nigga the fuck out my face. Move. Please do not stand in my section like you with the squad. You are not with the squad. All of us known for finessing and you can get robbed. Get 'em. I won't take a picture with you, but I will with the bitch. Fuck out the way. Tonight I am not in the mood, it's just me and my niggas. Shut up! I'm on they ass, look at me now. I'm on they ass. These niggas biting my swag, look at me now. Niggas biting my swag. Watch how I do my little dance, look at me now. I had to run up them bands, look at me now. Look at me now. Ooh, look at me now. Look at me now. I had to turn on my swag, look at me now. I had to turn on my swag. I had to go get them bands, look at me now. Go get them bands. I got these poor niggas mad, look at me now. See how you look. Hot. I see how you look. I'm on their ass.